Motorsport has a long history in Hungary, with races held on the street circuit in the Hungarian capital, Budapest. The first Hungarian Grand Prix was raced in the 5-kilometer Budapest Nipliget Park on 21st June 1936. After the Second World War, Europe is divided into two blocks, with Eastern European countries under communist influence, and racing event was slow to resume. In the early 1960s, racing event returned to Hungary on temporary track at Ferihegy Airfield and then near to Városliget Park. The facilities hosted a round of the European Touring Car Championship in 1963 and 1964, before the race was moved to a significantly modified version of the 1936 Nipliget Park configuration in 1966 and 1972. In the mid-1980s, Formula One CEO Bernie Ecclestone wanted to race in USSR, but Soviet resisted his preference for a Grand Prix in Moscow that passed through the Red Square, so his friend suggested Budapest in Hungary. On 9 December 1984, Hungary applied to the FIA for the Formula One World Championship. Both parks were mentioned as venue before the Hungaroring was built. Construction work started on the 1st October 1985, and it was completed in just 8 months. The original layout had to be changed during the construction when an underground spring caused a diversion from the planned course via a series of slow S-bends, significantly slowing the lap. Because the circuit is located in a valley, around 80% of it can be seen from any point. The first race was held on 24 March 1986 in memory of János Drapal, the first Hungarian who won motorcycle Grand Prix races. The event was undoubtedly a success. The first Grand Prix attracted 200,000 spectators from countries in the region, despite the fact that tickets were expensive at the time. The 1986 Hungarian Grand Prix was the first race in Formula One history to take place behind the Iron Curtain. As the Hungarian Grand Prix take place during the height of summer, it's usually extremely hot and dry as well. This means that it gets quite dusty with sandy soil covering the track. The tight and winding course is a favorite among a few drivers due to its tricky and challenging nature. Some drivers enjoy the track while others dislike the lack of overtaking because the lack of general use throughout the year, along with the bow-like nature of landscape, mean that's always a problem. The first change in track's layout occurred in 1989, when the issue with underground spring were finally resolved and the S-bends behind the pits were bypassed. In 2003, more substantial changes were undertaken, when the final series of bends and the pit straight were reconfigured to create a longer pit straight. A new tight first corner offers slightly more scope for overtaking. The Hungaroring has been the venue for the Hungarian Grand Prix since 1986. Among the various modern uniform circuits, the Hungaroring represents tradition, a classic style that has now become very much appreciated. There have been so many great moments in Hungaroring circuit over the decades. Back at the first Grand Prix on this circuit, when Nelson Piquet beat Ayrton Senna in 1986, Nigel Mansell wins after dramatic pass on Ayrton Senna in 1989, Jenson Button's first win in Formula One in 2006, and many drivers won their maiden wins at this circuit, include Damon Hill in 1993, Fernando Alonso in 2003, Heikki Kovalainen in 2008, and Esteban Ocon in 2021.